California Real Estate Exam Practice Test. Question 1. How should Marisol treat licensed negotiation work for another person when compensation is expected? Option A. Only a properly licensed person acting through a responsible broker may perform the activity. Option B. Anyone may negotiate if the parties sign a written waiver. Option C. A salesperson may perform it independently after passing the state exam. Option D. A notary may handle negotiations when escrow is open. The correct answer is option A. Only a properly licensed person acting through a responsible broker may perform the activity. California license law generally requires licensed real estate acts for another for compensation to be performed under a responsible broker. A private waiver does not remove statutory licensing requirements. A salesperson license does not authorize independent brokerage activity. A notary role does not substitute for a real estate broker or salesperson license. Question 2. After Jamal shares confidential negotiating limits with an agent, which duty continues even after the agency ends? Option A. The duty to guarantee financing approval. Option B. Confidentiality regarding the principal's protected information. Option C. The duty to set the property value for tax purposes. Option D. The duty to obey new instructions forever. The correct answer is option B. Confidentiality regarding the principal's protected information. Confidentiality generally survives termination of the agency relationship for information learned in confidence. Agents do not guarantee a lender's underwriting decision. Property tax values are determined through tax assessment rules rather than agency duties. Obedience applies to lawful instructions during the agency relationship, not forever. Question 3. Why does a listing broker still owe some duties to an unrepresented buyer? Option A. Escrow becomes the buyer's legal advisor. Option B. Only clients can receive truthful information. Option C. Licensees must deal honestly and disclose material facts even to non-clients. Option D. Non-clients must discover every defect without assistance. The correct answer is option C. Licensees must deal honestly and disclose material facts even to non-clients. A licensee owes fiduciary duties to the principal but also owes honesty, fair dealing, and proper material disclosures to third parties. Escrow remains neutral and does not become a legal advisor. Truthfulness is not limited to clients. Buyers have inspection responsibilities, but that does not permit concealment of material facts.
Stressed about your AccuPlacer exam? We can take AccuPlacer exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 4. What problem arises if a licensee tells owners to sell quickly because a protected group is moving into the area? Option A. It is required market forecasting. Option B. It is permitted if prices are rising. Option C. It is a normal appraisal adjustment. Option D. That conduct resembles blockbusting and violates fair housing policy. The correct answer is option D. That conduct resembles blockbusting and violates fair housing policy. Blockbusting involves inducing transactions by exploiting fear related to protected class changes in a neighborhood. Market forecasting does not permit discriminatory fear-based tactics. Rising prices do not make discriminatory conduct lawful. Appraisal adjustments must be based on market data, not protected class panic. Question 5. Why should a contingency deadline in May's offer be monitored carefully? Option A. Missing the deadline can affect rights to cancel, proceed, or protect a deposit. Option B. A contingency deadline automatically changes the interest rate. Option C. All deadlines are optional if the buyer is nervous. Option D. Deadlines only matter after the deed is recorded. The correct answer is option A. Missing the deadline can affect rights to cancel, proceed, or protect a deposit. Contingencies give parties specified rights within stated time periods, so deadlines can affect contract remedies and deposit risk. Interest rates are governed by loan terms rather than contingency dates. Emotional uncertainty does not make contract deadlines optional. Recording is a transfer step, not the first moment contract deadlines matter. Question 6. How does fee simple ownership generally differ from a leasehold interest in a coastal cottage? Option A. A leasehold is the same as community property. Option B. Fee simple is ownership of the estate, while a leasehold is a right of possession for a term. Option C. Fee simple lasts only 1 year. Option D. A leasehold always includes mineral ownership. The correct answer is option B. Fee simple is ownership of the estate, while a leasehold is a right of possession for a term. Fee simple is the broadest common ownership estate, while a leasehold gives possession under lease terms. Community property is a marital ownership form rather than a leasehold estate. Fee simple is not limited to 1 year. A leasehold does not automatically convey mineral rights. Question 7. Why might a quitclaim deed be used to clear a possible title issue involving Ivy? Option A. It guarantees market value. Option B. It creates a new mortgage loan. Option C. It releases whatever interest the signer may have without warranting title. Option D. It substitutes for a preliminary title report. The correct answer is option C. It releases whatever interest the signer may have without warranting title. A quitclaim deed can release a possible claim or interest without promising that the signer actually owns title. Market value is not guaranteed by a deed. A mortgage or deed of trust secures debt rather than clearing a possible claim. A preliminary title report identifies title matters and is not replaced by a deed. Question 8. Before escrow closes on a mobile home lot, why does the escrow officer request payoff information? Option A. To appraise the property for tax purposes. Option B. To choose the buyer's homeowners association. Option C. To decide if the broker earned a license. Option D. To know the amount needed to satisfy existing liens being paid through closing. The correct answer is option D. To know the amount needed to satisfy existing liens being paid through closing. Payoff statements help escrow close out existing loans or liens that must be paid at settlement. Tax appraisal is not performed by escrow payoff review. HOA selection is not determined by loan payoff information. Broker licensing is handled by DRE rather than payoff statements.
Are you looking for AccuPlacer exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access AccuPlacer exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get AccuPlacer exam answer key today.
Question 9. A lender charges 1 point on a $185,000 loan. What does 1 point represent? Option A. 1% of the loan amount. Option B. 1 month of property taxes. Option C. 1% of the property acreage. Option D. 1 day of prepaid rent. The correct answer is option A. 1% of the loan amount. A point is a finance charge equal to 1% of the loan amount. Property taxes are assessed charges, not loan discount points. Acreage is a land measurement and unrelated to points. Prepaid rent is a settlement item rather than a loan point. Question 10. A deposit is received as something other than cash in a sale of commercial storefront. Why must the seller be informed clearly? Option A. The buyer then owns the property immediately. Option B. The seller needs to know the true form and reliability of the offered deposit. Option C. The loan must be cancelled automatically. Option D. The escrow holder becomes the seller's broker. The correct answer is option B. The seller needs to know the true form and reliability of the offered deposit. The form of a deposit can matter to the seller's decision because different instruments carry different collection risks. A deposit does not by itself transfer title. A loan is not automatically cancelled by the form of deposit. Escrow remains neutral and does not become the seller's broker. Question 11. A licensee notices a visible roof leak during a walk-through. How should this be handled? Option A. Mention it only after close of escrow. Option B. Hide it because buyers must discover everything themselves. Option C. Disclose known material facts and recommend appropriate investigation. Option D. Ignore it if the seller says not to mention it. The correct answer is option C. Disclose known material facts and recommend appropriate investigation. Known material facts affecting value or desirability must be handled honestly and disclosed when required. Post-closing disclosure is usually too late to protect the buyer's decision. Buyer investigation duties do not excuse non-disclosure of known material facts. A seller's instruction does not permit concealment. Question 12. Why would an appraiser use the income approach for a condominium unit? Option A. The property is always owner-occupied. Option B. The property has no expenses. Option C. The owner wants to avoid disclosures. Option D. The property's value is strongly tied to its income stream. The correct answer is option D. The property's value is strongly tied to its income stream. The income approach converts expected income into an indication of value. Owner-occupied property is less commonly the focus of income capitalization. Income property can still have expenses. Disclosures are legal duties and are not avoided by appraisal method. Question 13. A rental building sells for $1,125,000 and produces annual gross rent. Why would an investor use GRM? Option A. To compare price to gross rental income. Option B. To verify legal title. Option C. To calculate the deed recording fee only. Option D. To determine agency disclosure timing. The correct answer is option A. To compare price to gross rental income. Gross rent multiplier relates sale price to gross rental income for quick income minus property comparison. Title verification is handled through title review. Recording fees are settlement costs rather than GRM analysis. Agency disclosure timing is a representation issue. Question 14. How does a sublease differ from an assignment in a rental townhome? Option A. A sublease records a mortgage lien. Option B. A sublease transfers less than the tenant's full remaining interest. Option C. A sublease ends all landlord obligations immediately. Option D. A sublease always transfers fee title. The correct answer is option B. A sublease transfers less than the tenant's full remaining interest. A sublease gives another occupant less than the full remaining leasehold interest, leaving the original tenant with a reversionary interest. A mortgage lien is a financing instrument, not a sublease. The landlord's obligations are not automatically ended by a sublease. Fee title remains with the owner. Question 15. A legal use existed before a new zoning ordinance made it inconsistent. What concept may allow it to continue? Option A. Novation only. Option B. Divulsion. Option C. Legal non-conforming use. Option D. Defeasance clause. The correct answer is option C. Legal non-conforming use. A legal non-conforming use may continue when it lawfully existed before a zoning change, subject to local rules. Novation replaces contractual obligations and does not preserve zoning uses. Avulsion is sudden land loss or gain by natural forces. A defeasance clause concerns loan payoff and title release concepts. Question 16. A buyer is concerned about asbestos in an older coastal cottage. How should a licensee respond? Option A. State that asbestos is impossible in California buildings. Option B. Remove the material personally during the showing. Option C. Tell the buyer inspections are illegal before closing. Option D. Recommend appropriate professional inspection or evaluation and avoid unsupported assurances. The correct answer is option D. Recommend appropriate professional inspection or evaluation and avoid unsupported assurances. Environmental concerns should be handled through disclosure, caution, and qualified professional evaluation. Asbestos can exist in older buildings and should not be dismissed categorically. Licensees should not perform hazardous removal work outside their expertise. Inspections are commonly part of due diligence when permitted by the contract. Question 17. Why might a special assessment appear on a property tax bill for a warehouse condo? Option A. It helps pay for a specific public improvement or service benefiting property. Option B. It replaces all mortgage interest. Option C. It cancels the seller's disclosure duties. Option D. It pays the buyer's private moving costs. The correct answer is option A. It helps pay for a specific public improvement or service benefiting property. Special assessments are charges tied to particular public improvements or services, such as infrastructure. Mortgage interest remains a financing matter. Disclosure duties are separate from assessments. Private moving costs are not public assessments. Question 18. How should a licensee handle online comments about a protected class near a listing? Option A. Ask followers to vote on who should buy. Option B. Avoid discriminatory statements and keep marketing focused on lawful property features. Option C. Repeat the comments if they increase views. Option D. Use protected class trends as a pricing tool. The correct answer is option B. Avoid discriminatory statements and keep marketing focused on lawful property features. Ethical and fair housing advertising should focus on property facts and lawful criteria rather than protected class preferences. Crowd voting on protected traits would be improper. Engagement metrics do not justify discrimination. Protected class trends are not a lawful pricing tool. Stressed about your California real estate exam? We can take California real estate exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. How should a responsible broker supervise salespersons using digital transaction tools? Option A. Let software replace broker supervision entirely. Option B. Allow each salesperson to create separate trust accounts freely. Option C. Maintain policies and review practices that ensure compliant brokerage activity. Option D. Avoid reviewing digital files because they are electronic. The correct answer is option C. Maintain policies and review practices that ensure compliant brokerage activity. Broker supervision applies to electronic workflows as well as paper files. Software can assist but does not replace broker responsibility. Trust account use must follow broker-controlled rules. Electronic records still require review and retention. Question 20. A citation and fine from the DRE generally serves what purpose? Option A. Creation of a life estate. Option B. The approval of a subdivision public report. Option C. Automatic transfer of property title. Option D. The administrative enforcement of specified violations. The correct answer is option D. Administrative enforcement of specified violations. Citations and fines are enforcement tools used to address certain violations. They do not create estates and land. Subdivision public reports are separate regulatory approvals. They do not transfer ownership. Question 21. Why should buyers review CC&RS before purchasing a condominium unit? Option A. CC&RS may restrict use, improvements, leasing, and owner obligations. Option B. CC&RS eliminate all monthly assessments. Option C. CC&RS guarantee future appreciation. Option D. CC&RS replace the buyer's loan application. The correct answer is option A. CC&RS may restrict use, improvements, leasing, and owner obligations. CC&RS can materially affect how a unit or lot may be used within a common interest development. Assessments may be created rather than eliminated by HOA documents. Appreciation is not guaranteed by governing documents. Loan approval still requires lender review. Question 22. A lease expires but the tenant remains without a new agreement. What is the tenant commonly called? Option A. Vendee under a land contract. Option B. Holdover tenant. Option C. Truster under a deed of trust. Option D. Dominant tenement owner. The correct answer is option B. Holdover tenant. A holdover tenant remains in possession after the lease term ends without a new agreement. A vendee is a buyer under a land contract. A truster is the borrower/property owner under a deed of trust. A dominant tenement benefits from an easement. Question 23. Why might riparian rights matter for land next to a river? Option A. They create a broker commission lien automatically. Option B. They prevent all zoning restrictions. Option C. They concern water use rights connected to land bordering a watercourse. Option D. They are the same as fair housing rights. The correct answer is option C. They concern water use rights connected to land bordering a watercourse. Riparian rights involve land adjoining rivers or streams and the related use of water. Commission liens are separate legal concepts. Zoning may still regulate land use. Fair housing rights address discrimination in housing. Question 24. How does a loan estimate assist Malik during financing? Option A. It creates an easement over the property. Option B. It guarantees the final appraisal value. Option C. It replaces the promissory note after closing. Option D. It summarizes key loan terms and estimated settlement charges. The correct answer is option D. It summarizes key loan terms and estimated settlement charges. Loan estimates help borrowers compare terms, projected payments, and closing costs. Easements are property rights unrelated to loan estimates. Appraisal value is determined by appraisal analysis. The promissory note remains the repayment obligation. Question 25. Why must settlement figures be reviewed for accuracy before signing? Option A. Errors can affect cash to close, proceeds, payoffs, and contractual compliance. Option B. Figures are never material. Option C. Only the appraiser can read closing documents. Option D. Reviewing figures cancels escrow automatically. The correct answer is option A. Errors can affect cash to close, proceeds, payoffs, and contractual compliance. Closing figures determine important financial obligations and should be checked carefully. Settlement errors can be very material. Parties, brokers, escrow, and lenders may all review documents within their roles. Review does not cancel escrow by itself.